Garbage is done.
Okay. Alright, guys. Don't you turn off on me. Okay. So, I'm just going to finish up these little videos, and then I'll upload these first, and then I'll upload the music ones. Because I did the musical ones. I did the Monday Night Worship, and then I did another little dedication, well, more than a little one, dedication to my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother. The family members we lost. So, alright, here's this. Electromagnetic Pulse, EMP. We've all experienced temporary power outages. I almost said powder outages. Few hours, no big deal. Couple days, pain in the posterior, but easily endured.
No.
But what if the lights never came back on? Think about that for a minute. Essentially, an EMP is a short burst of electromagnetic energy. It causes electrical current surges, which may damage a wide range of devices. While we typically use things like surge suppressors to protect our electronics from lightning strikes, they would be of little use for protection against a large EMP strike. We face the risk of an EMP damaging the electrical grid in the United States in two different ways. First, it could occur as part of an enemy attack. EMP is a byproduct of a nuclear detonation. Scientists found that out after the Starfish Prime atomic bomb test in 1962. A high-altitude nuclear explosion was set off about 250 miles above a point in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The resulting EMP took out streetlights in Hawaii almost 900 miles away. From that, we can extrapolate that if a similar device was detonated 250 miles above Indianapolis, Indiana, there would be a loss of electrical power from Dallas, Texas to New York City. And that's limiting it to the 1960s nuclear technology. And China does have an EMP nuke now that can take down our power grids in an hour. From one end of the country to the other. So, food for thought. Congressional studies seem to indicate that as few as 2 small nuclear devices detonated in the right places could take out, it would not just 70%, 100%. Or more of our electrical capabilities. It would definitely be 100%. They've actually found that out. Boots, what are you doing? Sorry, Cream, what are you doing? Several countries have this technological capability right now, and more will likely join the list soon. China does have that. This is one of the reasons why we get a little uptight when nations like North Korea want so badly to have successful rocket launches. And North Korea, I do believe they have it as well. The second way we could get hit with an EMP is through a geomagnetic storm sent via the sun. Back in 1859, we experienced what has been dubbed the Carrington event. In September of that year, the Earth was bathed in a coronal mass ejection from the sun. You've heard of the aurora borealis, or the northern lights, right? While that light show is usually confined to northern locations like Alaska or Norway, the Carrington event was seen as far from the poles as Hawaii and Cuba. There are some negative aspects to those pretty lights, though. Telegraph systems were dramatically affected, in some places catching on fire. Back then, of course, those telegraphs represented the height of technology. This was way before electrical devices became commonplace. It wasn't until the early 1900s that cities began installing electrical lights, for example. Care to place a bet on just how bad things could get if a similar solar storm happened today? Or if some terrorist faction got their hands on an EMP device? Think about how dependent we are upon electricity nowadays. From the alarm clocks that wake us up, the TV that brings us the news and the weather forecast, to the almighty smartphones that keep us connected to the world at large. All of that and more will be rendered useless in the blink of an eye. Power grids are taken down with an EMP nuke. The phones will become a glorified paperweight. They'll be useless. Cars, any car that has a computer in it will be dead. They will not work. They will not start. They will not run. You can't push it to start it. It's done, dead. It's a dead horse on the road. Any car that does not have a computer in it, you stand a chance. But if it doesn't have gas, good luck, because all the pumps are electrical. All of them are run by computer systems. Guess what's going to happen to those? Just like the computer system in the cars. Phones, same thing. Heck, if Facebook goes down for an hour, some folks act like it's the end of the world. Oh, yeah, definitely. The effect wouldn't be limited to conveniences like computers and alarm clocks. Pretty much anything that contains circuitry would be dead. Cars, trucks, modern railway systems, all would just roll to a stop. I know if an EMP hits, I really wouldn't want to be on an airplane either. Think about that one. Those are run by computers too. Airplanes in the sky, they'll just shut off. What do you think's gonna happen then? No survivors? Yeah, pretty much. There's not gonna be anything they can do because they won't even be able to use the landing gear. Because it's all computerized.
And the ambulances wouldn't work either.
No ambulances. The one thing I can tell you is the military is prepared for this because they know what's coming. They know what's going to happen. They're prepared. No one else is. Homesteading. Can you live without electricity? Can you live without the power grid? This is one of the reasons why our home will be off grid. Yes, we'll have solar, but we will be able to function without electricity. That's the whole point. The hand pumps for water, the food, garden, animals, being able to grow our animal feed. That's a big one. Power grids go down, you ain't going to be able to go down to your local feed store or family farming home or Tractor Supply.
Get down.
And get animal feed. How are you going to get there? Your vehicle's not going to work. We have Amish down the road. And when I start building on the land and, getting out there and getting things done, I'm going to start talking to them and seeing if at some point there's a way that I can make a deal with them on renting or buying a horse and buggy from them and paying them to keep the horse because I don't have the room here. So, see. Because that way we'll have transportation if we needed to go somewhere. But the thing of it is, where would you go? As Doug and Stacey said on his video, where would you go? Nothing's gonna be. There's nothing. Nothing will be working. Absolutely nothing. Stores dead. They back off. You are not getting on. No. Sorry, he was trying to get on my computer. Anyway, you know where to go. Nothing to do. Except work on your homestead and get it. No! Back up. Getting pretty good at that. I didn't want him climbing on my computer. But yeah, this is why it's so important to be prepared. I mean, things that they used to live without way back in the day, before it was even invented. Toilet paper, paper towels. They used things like rags that they made from old clothes or sheets or something like that. They made their stuff. They made their cleaning cloths. They made their soap. They even rendered the lye necessary to help make that soap. No, they didn't have what we have. But they made it. They made it. Why? Because they knew how to do this stuff. It's a matter of relearning, and it's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy for them. Many of them died, yes. And grid down situation, disease is going to run rampant again. How's your immune system? How are you eating? Are you starting to take care of yourself? Are you growing your food? Are you eating from your own reserves? Are you eating healthy? It all boils down to that. Something that is often overlooked in discussions about EMP is the fact that while we have the know-how to build more transformers and such to replace any infrastructure that is damaged by EMP, those repairs don't happen overnight. It would likely take years, literally take years, before any semblance of life as we know it could be restored. And they say that, now this was a few years ago that this was put out, and that they said this, but for as dependent on electricity as people are, I still believe this. That because of how dependent everyone is on electricity, that within a year, 90% of Americans would be dead. That is 9 out of every 10 people. Why? Because most people don't know how to survive without it. Most people don't know how to grow a garden. Most people don't know how to save seeds. Most people don't even know how to get the seeds from their plants, from those plants. Most people don't know how to preserve food from a garden. Most people don't know how to keep chickens or preserve eggs, or most people do not know how to do this stuff. Heck, I'm still learning more than half of it. I've had chickens. I can deal with eggs. I never went as far as to get the stuff I needed to preserve those eggs. This time I will, for sure. To water glass them, the gallon glass jars. Everything I need for water glassing and preserving those eggs and putting them up. For sure. Definitely will. I know how to make my own apple cider vinegar. I need to, start writing it down, and, because I'm woohoo absent-minded and forget, my days or whatever, and I'd have to start, setting an alarm. Setting an alarm. Depending on the phone. Writing it down, taping it up, or whatever, and, hey, you need to do that, you need to do this. But, I think it's more of, if it's more of a survival thing for sure, then I'm going to be right on that. So, it's a learning thing, you guys. But it's so important. And a lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people don't believe this is going to happen. But this is it. All right. It is in the Bible. Our country will be taken down. And the Bible describes it as in a moment. That is translated to in 1 hour. And China just so happens to have the EMP nuke that can take down our power grids in an hour from one side of the country to the other. I don't believe in coincidences. But I do believe we need to be prepared. Time is now. The time was 10 years ago to start. 20 years ago. I was stupid. I should have started this when my kids were little, instead of where my mind was, because it wasn't in a good place. If I would have built up a homestead when my kids were little, They would have been raised in knowing some very important things. And I would have, they would have been taught some very valuable lessons. And I would have avoided making a lot of mistakes. If I could go back, I would definitely make that one right. So, if you have kids, or you're gonna have kids, get that homestead started. Raise your kids on the land. Raise your kids with a garden, with them gardening, with them helping with animals. Chickens, dairy goats, a dairy cow, whatever. Teach them the important things. And this is one of them. Sewing skills. There's so many different things. And I'm going to start getting out more of my pins on here. I was thinking about that earlier. I don't have a lot of time tonight because I've got to get those other 2 videos up too. And it's probably going to take forever, but this stuff is so important. And it boils right down to there's even a lot of edible plants out there, wild edibles, that most people don't know exist. Dandelions, okay? The one thing that drives people crazy and they get off their lawnmower and cut them all down. What are you doing? What are you doing? Every part of the dandelion is edible. The flowers, the leaves, the stems, the roots. The leaves are great in salads. I've made them. I haven't been able to make a dandelion tea that actually comes out right to where it tastes good yet. I'm still learning, you guys. I'm working on it, and I'm going to definitely try to perfect that this year. The white clover. That is very medicinal. I did several videos on it. I did a couple of videos on it down in Oklahoma. I had a white clover vinegar started here, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to it. But I'm going to do that again this year. I'm going to be doing a red clover white vinegar. I'm going to be doing, like all of that stuff. And I've got to get my time right now to where I have the time, because time is precious when it comes to a homestead. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off from here, and I'll get to the last one in this chapter on that book, and then I will start uploading these. So I'll upload these 2 first because it'll take less time, and then I'll upload the music ones. So I will see you guys in the next video. Do your research. It's so important. I cannot stress it enough. The time frame we're living in, you guys, it is so important. What would you do if you woke up middle of the night or tomorrow morning to find the power off? You run down, check your circuit breakers. That doesn't help. Nothing helps. You pick up your phone to try to call your power company and realize your phone is dead. Only thing is you had it charged and you knew it was charged. Then what? The next thing you do is go to try to start your car. It's out of curiosity. You got a nice brand new car. Or, a few years old, but it's nice. Decked out. Vehicle doesn't start. You're cussing up a storm. What the heck is wrong with this? Computer's fried. What would you do? Your water pump is electrical. You don't live near a water source. What are you going to do? It's food for thought. That's a big meal for thought. Okay? Do your research. Remember, you can homestead no matter where you are. I've done those videos too. Get your homestead started. Get your container garden started. Get your patio garden started. Save those seeds. Go down to Dollar Tree, 4 for $1.25. Start buying up a bunch of them. Get your seed bank started. That's worth more than having $500 million in the bank. Having a seed bank, a large one, is worth more than the national debt. Because that will save your family's life. Think about it. And ask yourself the questions that I asked you guys. I will see you guys in the next video, and do your research. Can't stress it enough. See you in a few, guys. Bye.